Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Kate. I am coming to you from the laundry room, which is my grow room for seedlings. It's nothing glamorous, as you can tell. Shoes, a broom, washer and dryer, but this is where I am able to start my seeds. It's the spot in the house that has the most space, where I keep my little indoor greenhouse. And maybe one day I'll have one of those glamorous seed starting station rooms or something. I feel like my videos have a very realistic approach to just the everyday home gardener, maybe somebody that's wanting to start a garden for the first time, that has limited space in their house and they can't have the beautiful, grow room. They don't have the acreage of land. We grow on about 3/4 of an acre. It's a little bit less, and I am still able to produce a ton of food for my family. I've inserted some pictures from past harvests just so you guys can see the abundance that you can too grow in a small area of land. You don't have to have a ton of acreage. You can do it wherever you are. So yes, while my videos may not be the most glamorous, we all have to start somewhere. And I've talked about it in other videos how this is our, first home. It's not our forever home, not our forever property, but this is where I am making do with what I have now. And so my little grow area is in the laundry room. But that's not what you came here to see today. You came to see the Brassicas. I told you guys I would do a more detailed, thorough video. I've been doing little shorts just to kind of keep you guys updated and posted. But today I'm going to walk you through all the Brassicas and cold hardy stuff that I have started that is growing and that will be ready to transplant outside here very shortly. So as you can see, the indoor greenhouse is really starting to fill up with all kinds of goodies and things. The first update I'm going to show you guys is the leeks that we planted January 21st, I think it was. And again, in not so glamorous things, but we make things work and we reuse, and it's working just fine. These leeks are gorgeous. They're probably 2.5 inches tall now, and I'm really happy with the germination rate and the way they're growing here. The onions we planted, I told you guys onions were a pain in the butt. The Texas Grano came up, and they're doing okay. They're not I planted them densely, but not as many of them have germinated and came up as I would have liked. And then the white onion, there's literally one of the Southport white globe onions that we planted. So I also went ahead and started some chives over in this area because my plan was to succession plant the onions, but since, onions just ain't doing too hot. It looks like we will have some of the Texas Grano to plant out as long as they keep doing their thing. But what I'm going to show you next is another method that I use when onions don't work from seeds. And they're kind of working, but okay. Here we have a bag of onion sets. And since the Texas Grano are a yellow onion and they seem to be, pulling off well, I didn't do any of the yellow yet. I will keep these on standby if I need a yellow onion. But I went ahead and did a thing of the white and a thing of the purple. And when it comes to onion sets, you can literally go outside and put them straight into your area, your growing area. But I like to get a little root system going ahead of time. I did it last year and it seemed to really help them bulb up well. And so what I will do, or what I did, filled it with soil, and then I literally wetted the soil, not too much because you do not want them to rot. Oh. And you plant them with this side down, pointy side up, kind of just like garlic basically. And I put them in a little bit, not completely covered, just so that their bottom part is touching the soil, getting the moisture, and then we'll start growing the roots. And then when I feel these have a little bit of a root system, I will go ahead and transplant them outdoors. My onion sets grew beautiful onions last year. I'll insert a picture. And since we won't have as many onions from seed as I hoped, I'm still hoping I can grow the Texas Grano successfully. We have our sets as backup, and I have another case of purple up there. So that's what we're doing onion set wise. So we have our leeks, our onions, onion sets going, and brassicas. So let's give a detailed look at the brassicas that we have going right now. Okay, so here is our original tray that's been shown in the brassica shorts that I've been doing. It is a hot mess because I have already potted some of these up into containers this size. And so I'm trying to pot up as many as I can, and then I'll be able to use this tray here soon for probably tomatoes, because I have an empty tray for peppers. That'll probably be the next video coming, is I will sow some peppers with you guys. So make sure you're subscribed if you want to see how many pepper varieties that I'm growing this year. I'm super excited. I can't talk. Peppers and tomatoes are probably my two favorite things to grow. They're just really fun and really unique, and so videos on those are coming very soon. Okay, but here are some of the seedlings that are still left, and then I've been potting some of them up into these are 4-inch pots. I only have potted up some of them because the soil is really damp, and I didn't want to accidentally dampen off a bunch of the seedlings. So I'm trying to get the soil to dry out, so I actually have these on a heat mat right now to help draw out the moisture in the soil. And then I will finish transplanting up the rest, and that's why they look like a hot mess. But here are the brassica varieties that I'm growing this year. These are the Long Island Brussels sprouts. So I have about 3 babies in there. As they get a little bit bigger, then we will up pot them again. But Long Island Brussels sprouts. So far, I only have one of the Romanesco broccoli, which is a really pretty unique looking broccoli. One baby that's holding on. I have transplanted, or I haven't transplanted. I've sown a couple more of the Romanesco broccolis in another tray, but these were what's left of the original. There's actually one more down here in this mess, so I might try and up pot him soon and see what he does. So Brussels sprouts, Romanesco broccoli. I need to slow down. I talk so fast. Breathe, Kate. Talk slow. It's okay. Okay. From the seedling tray up potted is the late flat Dutch cabbage. I grew this last year and was successful, and I love cabbage. So hopefully I can get a bunch of those going. Right here in this row that hasn't been touched is the Savory Cabbage. I haven't up potted any of those yet. I'm letting those get a little bit bigger before I do. It is a really like ruffly kind of cabbage, super pretty. I haven't grown that before, so that'll be exciting. Other babies we have are pak choi or bok choy, full-size ones, and I have 4 little babies up potted in there, and there's some more in this tray. There's more of everything in the tray, but like I said, that soil was pretty wet, and I didn't want to risk dampening everything off and then being like, killed every seedling. No, so a little bit at a time. All right, and then we have Waltham 29 broccoli. These broccolis are I feel like they're the leggiest of the bunch, but I think it's because it's just broccoli. Like, I feel like broccoli is just like a naturally leggy seedling for some reason. But we have 3 broccoli babies in there and a couple more in the tray that we can up pot. And then we have the self-blanch cauliflower and some babies that are growing nicely. Everybody, for the most part, seems to be getting their true leaves. So that's like their second set of leaves. And then we have kohlrabi, purple kohlrabi, right here. I love kohlrabi. I successfully grew that last year, and it's just an alien. It's so cool. It's an alien. It is delicious. Raw. It was so good raw. I was so surprised. I really didn't know what to expect taste-wise, but it has one of the best raw flavors, I feel like, out of the vegetables. It's just, it's great. It's great. And then we have I don't have a picture of this because I got these seeds in one of the swap. It is the Untitled cabbage, and they are doing good. And we have a bunch more Untitled in here that can be up potted. And so yeah, that is pretty much what has come out of this tray so far. Like I said, we still have more bok choy over here. There's broccoli, cabbages, more kohlrabi babies. And so all these will get up potted as the soil dries out a little bit more. It's still pretty damp, as you can see, and I just don't want to dampen them off. I'm probably going to set these, set these outside here in a few. It's supposed to be in like the 50s and sunny, and so I think I'm going to give them that natural sunlight and let them do their thing and let the soil dry up. All right, so that sums up the brassicas that you have been seeing in the shorts. Other cool weather crops that have been sown, we will go over those right now. All right, so in this tray cell is a bunch of lettuces and kales that I'm about to go over, and they've all just are starting to pop up and germinate. I usually direct sow a lot of my kale and lettuces, but I'm doing something a little bit different this year, and so I'm actually going to plant them out like this instead of doing my direct sow method. But let me go over these varieties with you guys. All right, so in this cell, we have the rainbow Swiss chard. Now, I've grown Swiss chard for 3 seasons, which to me is like, I know summer's kind of its own season, but I always do like spring, fall is when I say seasons. So I've done it in the spring, done it in the fall, or I did it in the fall, did it in the spring, and did it in the fall so far. And the first season, it did great. And then I've had trouble the last 2 seasons. So once again, I direct sowed it. So maybe this method will be a little bit better for me. That's what I'm hoping. So I don't know why it's giving me such a hard time when it didn't the first time, but it's been a little hard. I don't have pictures of every single one of these. One of the lettuces I'm doing, and I'm also trying to get more of a head of lettuce this year instead of doing the cut and come again method, which I usually do. I will probably do a row or 2 of cut and come again just because I know it's a tried and true method for me. It keeps my lettuce from bolting really easy, and so because they're so, with the cut and come again method, you're densely planting them in like a line, and so they're all cluttered together, and it helps provide like extra shade and keeps them cool, and so it takes them a lot longer to bolt. And so I'm kind of experimenting this year by doing some actual heads to see how quickly they bolt as opposed to the cut and come again row. So we will be doing a lettuce called Ice Queen. It's really cool. It's got kind of like a frilly edges. We will be doing Marvel of 4 Seasons. These are in there. We have Butter Crunch lettuce, which is a really popular one. I haven't grown that yet. My go-tos are Black Seeded Simpson and Red Romaine, and these I'll probably do in the cut and come again method just because that's what's worked for me with them perfectly, and so I'll probably do that direct sow wise. Then kale wise, we have the Purple Scarlet, which is absolutely gorgeous. Some Blue Curled Scotch, which I accidentally dumped into a cell with some more Romanesco broccoli, so we'll see what happens there. Red Russian. And then Lacinato, aka Dino Kale, which has always done really well for me in the past. So those are the lettuces and kales that I have sown in there. I feel like there's something else. I need to go through my little tags. Nope, that's it. Is the kales, lettuces, chard, and then there was a couple Romanesco in this tray. That's just now starting to germinate and do really well. So, I think that pretty much wraps it up. Oh, it doesn't wrap it up. I did sow peas, and I sowed 3 varieties of peas. They're up here in these, let me see if I can grab one, in these containers again, and I will pot them up into their own separate ones as they go. But I'm growing 3 different varieties this year. The blue shelling pea, which has been a great one for me for 2 seasons now. I'm trying new, the spring blush, which is a dual colored pea pod, which should be really pretty. And then the ever famous sugar snap peas, which I have not had, but they seem to be all the rage. So we're going to grow those this year. So those have already germinated and started coming up on my peas, and they will go out into the garden very soon with the rest of all this cold hardy stuff. So I think that is going to wrap that up for this video. I went very much into detail, so you will be able to see, have an idea when I do shorts of what you're kind of looking at cold hardy stuff wise. There's still a bunch of things planted in this greenhouse. If you saw in that first video, there's flowers that are already sown, lots of herbs, and I will go into detail over the flowers here soon. My next big thing is we have to get peppers and tomatoes going. I will do a huge tomato video that also wraps up the tomato summer series. I had some technical difficulties with my phone factory resetting itself, and I lost like the last 2 or 3 tomatoes in that series. Super bummed about it. I'm going to talk about those and wrap that into the number of tomato varieties I'm growing and which ones I'm growing this year, which is going to be an amazing video because tomatoes are my favorite. I'm so excited to share, and y'all are going to probably think I'm insane, but it's going to be awesome. So if you are not already a subscriber, please consider doing so. I would appreciate it. And thank you guys, as always, for watching. I appreciate it more than you know. I will catch you guys on the next video.